Hello Queens, and welcome back to another fantastic day with moi slaying the game once again. Bitch, you already know the deal with that, so don't mind my unshaved face. I haven't shaved yet, darling. But today we're here talking about something that's been a craze on Twitter and just social media in general. Personally, I'm sick of seeing this flooding my social media to the point where I literally just want to delete Twitter. So if you've been living under a rock and you don't really go on social media, you don't go on YouTube, you don't go on Twitter, it's like the new normal to be digging up people's past and just using it against them. And I don't understand this whole concept. I'm going to be looking down because I did write down some points that I did want to come and talk about, so I don't forget to talk about what I want to talk about. So let's just go into it. So if you follow me on Twitter, you already seen that I posted something about this, and I'm going to touch upon what I talked about on Twitter in this, but I'm going to talk about more in depth, more reasoning why it just bothers me. So like I said, recently it's become such a trend to, drag people of things that they said in the past. Now, before we get into this, do I agree with what they said in the past and their past tweets? I absolutely do not, without a fucking doubt, agree with what they said in the past. However, with that being said, I'm tired of seeing fans, stans, whatever the fuck you want to call yourself, dragging celebrities and YouTubers and just everybody, dragging them from things that they said when they were like just becoming adults, young adults, whatever the case may be. But this is things that were said back in like 2010, 2012, farther than that. Like, I don't get how you have the time to sit down, to go on the internet, search all these things, backtrack through everyone's past. You don't have anything better to do with your time and then dig up dirt, drag people. And not to mention, back then, they were probably a totally, completely different person. Am I saying that I know these people personally that I'm talking about? No, absolutely not. I don't know where their intentions were when they were tweeting this. They could say one thing now and mean another thing back then, but all I know is that right now they're spreading positivity. They're spreading, awareness to certain different topics. They're, sending love to everybody that's felt different or whatever, because I mean, basically, that's what YouTube is to reach out. Well, that's what started YouTube, was to reach out to people that were just trying to get away from their lives and to see happiness, to see, people thriving. Basically, everyone loved to see someone thrive. Back when YouTube was just like starting up and everyone was getting famous, it was, a human thing to do, to watch people thrive and like they're thriving and, follow them because they were, spreading positivity and there was no drama. There was no, oh, look what I got. I got the new iPad. I got the new car. I got the new Audi. I got whatever. Like, it wasn't flaunting when YouTube started. It was basically just somewhere where you could go to, connect with other people that were willing to share their lives or willing to share their makeup tips or, willing to share the DIYs. Now, we're all taught at a young age growing up, and we even teach ourselves today, look to the future, focus on the present, not look at the past. Do I think the past is, important to look at now and again? Absolutely, because, you need to look at your past mistakes, your past connections to see what really, how to grow as a person and, move on from certain different situations and how you're going to do that. But let's not sit here and all act like we're perfect angels with a halo on our head and wearing this white gown. We're not. We can, drag Jeffree Star to the cows come home. We can drag Laura Lee or Joey or whoever you want to drag on the YouTube platform. We can sit behind a computer screen because it's so easy to sit behind a computer and, talk about and drag Shane Dawson or Jeffree Star or Manu MUA or just these people, like, really giving positivity to the world. And I don't see why in a world, and I will get to that later, but I just don't see what you get out of dragging people. I really don't. I mean, it's good tea. I love a good tea, but at the end of the day, I'm sick of seeing everyone drag somebody every single day. Then, they have to apologize, so that's filling up my feed. And should they apologize? That's where I'm indifferent. I think they should apologize in one side because, they did say it, and let's not act like they didn't. But at the same time, I don't want to see that on social media. Like, that's not all I want to see is dragging and apologies. Like, at the end of the day, we're here to share experiences, share, what's going on in life, not bring up a fucking past post post and apologize for it 80 years later. Dragging people, I don't get it, because we all have made a post, a tweet, a video in some way, shape, or form that offended somebody. And to sit here and act like we didn't or we don't, it's bullshit. Honestly, call the bullshit where the bullshit is, because honestly, girl, we've all made an offensive tweet someday or another. And who are we to sit here and judge somebody else from their past, because we know we've learned and grown from what we've made a mistake from. But because we are not famous, we are not in the limelight, you and I, we can do something wrong. We can offend somebody or whatever the case may be, and then look at the situation and then move on from it. Because we're not in the limelight, it doesn't get dug up every so often, every 5 years or every year or whatever. People in Hollywood have literally lost their jobs over something they said so many years ago that, you know, I don't think is right to lose their job now. But going back to what I was saying, it's because we're not in the limelight. You and I, like the little people, we are not in the limelight, so we don't get these things brought up to us every day, every year, every whatever, how many years it is. You know, we can look at the situation, we can learn from the situation, we can move on, and that chapter of our life is closed because we've changed, we've learned, we've grown. And don't you think that's the same thing these celebrities want to do? They want to, you know, they did the situation, they looked at the situation, now they've grown and learned on from it and moved on. So why do we have to keep bringing up someone's past? Because, you know, we want the good tea, we want to drag people, we really want to like get these grinds going. Like, I just don't understand the process of what you are trying to accomplish when you're looking through these tweets, dragging people, looking for apologies, and you know, they apologize, but the apology's not enough. You need a video. You can't have a Twitter post. So they make a video and then you're saying they're insincere, they're not doing it right, they're fake crying, like the dramatics are just too real. So it's like either which way they roll their dice, you're not going to be happy with. At the end of the day, people, you know, they want some Broadway, some Hollywood produced, full dramatic apology that's going to get you a Grammy, not a Grammy, that's going to get you an Oscar or whatever the case may be. And then even then, that still wouldn't be enough. That would be too dramatic. And it's just like, what is enough for you guys to accept an apology from someone that's really trying to be sincere? I just don't get. Enough is never enough. Like I said, we move on from it. We push it out of our heads. We don't even think about it anymore. Once it happens, it happens. Like I said, I talked about this topics on, you know, Twitter, but I just needed to come on here to talk more about the topic because I think this is something that honestly is a trend that needs to just disappear, because it's not something we all need to be focusing on in the world of 2018. Like, it's just really not. The world today is literally just chaos, whether we're talking about the president, the Supreme Court, dehumanizing immigrants, gun violence, women's rights, LGBT rights, like whatever the case may be, the world is just like chaotic. And the world itself has so much hate, so much negative energy, and the internet doesn't need to be a part of something that, you know, spreads more negativity throughout the world. Like, it just really does not need to be a thing and does not need to be a trend. People need to start, you know, spreading positivity, becoming more positive, you know, spreading love, happiness, and peace and harmony. But in all seriousness, we need to start, you know, spreading more positive energy in a world that's so negative, so destructing itself, rather than drag people because you want that good dirt, you want the good tea, you want, you know, to laugh about it at night, but laughing to you is hurting them. Laughing to you is, you know, destroying their friendships and, you know, destroying really their energy. At the end of the day, these people on your computer screen, on your phone screen, on your tablet screen, whatever you watch it on, these are people that do have real human connections, real human emotions, and what you do does affect them. It's not right to just sit here and drag, and then when they do apologize, it's never enough because it wasn't said in this particular way, they didn't say this particular thing, they didn't show this emotion, they didn't cry, they didn't laugh, they didn't, whatever the case may be, they didn't do what you wanted, and no one's ever going to stand up to every single person's standards. But at the end of the day, girl, look in the mirror, and if you are not this white glowing figure, don't be the pot calling the kettle black, because we all have been in a situation where we offended somebody, where we, you know, looked at ourselves and was disappointed because of what we did, what our actions did. It's just, like I said, we don't get it brought up every day because we are not in the limelight, we are not famous, we, you know, don't have the biggest following. So I know this was like kind of a more serious topic, but I really needed to talk about this because honestly, people around me are going crazy because this is all I literally talk about, is because that's all I see on Twitter. And when I see something that reminds me of what I want to say, I just, you know, speak my mind about it. But it's something that, you know, really needs to change. We really need to stop dragging people for the good tea, for like just spreading negativity. Like, the world has enough of it. Like I said, we need to start spreading positive energy and, you know, living our lives rather than worrying about how other people live their lives. Like, focus on yourself and your energy and your goals and aspirations rather than focusing on someone else's wrongs and just dragging them. You know, we talk about on social media that there's just so much negative energy around, yet we still continue to spread negative energy. Like, it just doesn't make sense how people saying we need more positive energy, but then drag people on Twitter because of what they said back in, you know, 10 years ago, 12 years ago. So if you like this video, give this video a thumbs up. And put in the comments below your opinions about this topic. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that bell notification if you want to be notified when I post more videos. And until next time, queens, you better go out, spread positivity, bitch, and go slay that bitch.